I am so stressed out. I don't have money to pay the rent that's coming due. For the second time in my life, I just got done pulling my 2 all-nighters in a row. My second all-nighter back to back. I'm completely full with my coursework in college. As a result, I'm losing hours at work. I can't do it all. I can't work as much as I want, 40 plus hours a week, and go to school full time. It just doesn't work with these higher level classes. So how am I supposed to pay this rent? I'm writing this check, and I hope that they don't deposit it until payday. And even then, that's gonna deplete my account. So no matter what I do, I'm out of luck. My roommate just moved out, so now here I am, a college kid working part-time, trying to afford a 2-bedroom apartment all by myself. I'm at the end of my rope. I have no control over my day-to-day management. Of course I'm not saving anything because I'm having to use credit cards to help me pay for my day-to-day spending. I don't talk about anything. I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of what's going on in my financial life. I'm completely out of luck if my hours get reduced more or if some reason I lose my job. I am barely treading water. I'm just trying to survive here. What I learned a decade and a half later is that I had no money health. I had no financial health back when I was in college. If you look at the elements of what makes good money health, I had none of it. So what is money health? What is financial well-being? What is financial health? And what is financial wellness? Why are there so many terms? What does it all mean? Well, stay tuned. Find out more right after this. Greetings, Derek Hagan here, financial therapist. Thanks for joining me for this week's Money Health presentation, where I'm going to talk to you a little bit about financial health, or what I call money health. Now, before we can dig into what financial health is or what money health is, let's talk a little bit about health and well-being in general. So when most people think about health and well-being, they think about physical health. And physical health means you don't have any disease, you're not injured, you don't have any illness, you're physically fit, you're getting enough sleep, you're resting, you have a good diet, you've got balanced nutrition. Basically, your body, your physiology is working. And if there's something wrong with your physical health, or you think there's something wrong with your physical health, you would go to a medical doctor. And that could be your general doctor that you go for checkups, because there doesn't need to be something wrong in order to get a good checkup. Or it could be a specialist. Maybe you broke your leg, or maybe you have a illness that you need treated. So you need some kind of a drug, a medication of some kind. So that's when we would go to a physical doctor, a medical doctor, is to help with our physical health. Well, there's also mental health. And with mental health, actually, let me take a step back here, because mental health, it's getting better, but historically there's been a stigma around mental health. In the past, mental health professionals would treat and diagnose and treat mental disorders. So this is actual, the brain's not working properly. So how can we get out of that? This is anxiety disorder, this is depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, panic disorder, those kinds of things, bipolar. It's actually better now, so we can actually go to mental health therapists for checkups the same way we would with a medical doctor. And I think that's good. That's a step in the right direction, because we all need mental health. Mental health is generally enjoying life, being generally optimistic, being able to bounce back when bad things happen, having a good life balance, not having any disorders, generally being happy. Maybe that's not a great technical definition, but you can think of it like that. You're generally happy with life. That's mental health. So what in the world would be financial health? If you think about money, money touches every area of our life. Money is so intertwined with life that it impacts both our mental health and our physical health. There are very, very few life decisions that don't have a money component. And there are very few money decisions that don't impact our life somehow. Money touches everything. The way we handle our money or mishandle our money can cause us to lose sleep. It can cause undue stress. It can cause us to not want to deal with what's in front of us. So money, health, financial health is a way that we use our money in a healthy way to promote our well-being, our general well-being. Now, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, government agency here in the United States, put together what I consider a really cool definition of financial well-being. You have financial well-being, they say, if you've got these 4 squares met. And so they'll break it into time periods, today and in the future, and then they'll break it into different aspects. So are you secure, and do you have freedom? So here, having security in the present means you've got your day-to-day financial management down. You're paying your bills on time. You have a process. You have a system for making sure everything gets paid. You're healthy. You can buy food. You can buy the things you need. And that happens just fine. You get the day-to-day down. Having security in the future means that if there's any financial risk, if there's any financial shock, any bad thing that might happen in the future, it could be a job loss. It could be virus pandemics and your company can't work anymore. It could be having to take a pay cut. It could be being forced to move. But something, whatever that bad thing is, author Carl Richards says that risk is what's left over when you think you've thought of everything else. That is to say, if you could account for it, then you would account for it. Right? But risk is those things that sneak up on you. So having security in the future means that you're generally prepared to be able to bounce back from any bad financial shocks. And so that's feeling safe. That's that security aspect of it. What about freedom? What about the autonomy? So having autonomy and having freedom in the present means that you don't really have to worry about being able to afford the things that you want. You can buy things that bring you joy. You don't have to check your bank account balance every time you go in to make a purchase. You don't have to flip through and see if you have enough cash to buy it. You have the money for it. And having freedom in the future, that means you're saving. You got a good plan to save for those things that you want to use your money on in the future. So this could be retirement. This could be education for your children. This could be a new car every 5 years or 10 years. This could be buying a new boat, buying a new camper, or whatever it is for you. And this is a great first step. I love what they've done here. But this only tackles the exterior side of financial wellness. And by exterior, I mean things that happen outside of us. So this is your nuts and bolts of money. This is the mechanics of money. Carl Richards, the author, would call this the spreadsheets and calculators side of money. With enough time on Google, you can figure out the optimal strategy for all of these 4 squares. What I want to add to is, what about the inside? What about interior finance? What about our feelings and emotions when it comes to money? What about how we communicate with money and about money? What about our important values? What about our relationships, interpersonal relationships when it comes to money? What about our financial behaviors? So if we want to add the interior side of financial well-being, we're going to add a couple of new columns. We're going to add a communication column, and we're going to add a values column. And this 9-square grid is what I'm going to call money health. You've got your money health when you have that exterior side of money down. But then we're going to add that element of communication. Having good communication and feeling secure means that you're not being manipulated with money. You're able to have communications and conversations with loved ones about money in a way that you feel safe. You're not going to be taken advantage of. You're not going to be shamed. You're not going to be blamed. You're not going to be judged. Being secure in your conversations is an element of money health. And having freedom in communication means that you have something to say. You can put your opinion out in the world. You don't have to hide your opinions. You don't have to hide what you want to do. You have the flexibility to say, hey, here's what's on my mind. Now let's look at values. Meeting your values in the present means that you're able to use your money in a way that supports your personal values. That means you've done the work to know what your most important values are. What do you want? What's important to you? And give yourself permission to spend your money there. And the flip side is true. Stop spending your money in areas that aren't important to you. The obvious one could be maybe you drive an expensive car, but you realize that you don't value expensive cars. Stop spending your money in that area. Sell that car, buy a less expensive car, and use the remainder to go on a trip. This is just an example. It's going to be different for every single person. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe traveling isn't important to you. So you can stop traveling and use that money to buy a more expensive European car. It is totally dependent on you. That's very personal. And meeting your values in the future means that you're not using money as a goal. Money's not the goal. We don't want to wait and then we're going to retire once we get X dollars in the bank. Or we're going to retire when we're able to replace X dollars per month of income. Money is not a goal. Money is a tool that we can use to live the life that you design. So let's start thinking of money as a tool. And now the intersection of values and communication means that you and your loved ones can get together and have a conversation about your values. What's important to us? How can we design a life that fits with what's important to us and is also within our means, right? This is part of it too. So you want to know what's important to you. You're not going to use money as a goal. You're going to have open communication about money. Align your money and your values, but you're going to do it in a way that's within your budget. Right? This is not an open ticket to go run up a bunch of debt because you watched a video of some financial therapist telling you to just design the life that I want. No, you are constrained by that exterior side of money. But using the money that you have, you can design a life that fits with what's important to you. And you can do so in a way that your stress levels will be reduced. You'll be generally happy with your use of money. You'll be less fearful, less shamed, less guilty about money. So if you think about where you're at, think about where you want to be. And that's the easy part. You can see that anywhere. But this is a big, scary jump. And you might think, how the heck am I supposed to get that? That's intimidating. We're not going to do it. So I don't want you to do that. What I want you to do is focus on this little circle. And if we zoom in on that little circle, there's going to be a first step. I want you to focus on that first step. Even if it's a tiny, tiny thing. What small micro action can you do that will make you better off tomorrow than you were today? One small thing. Focus on that, and you'll be on your way to increasing your money health.